Hey everyone, so I'm up here again visiting Frank. Today is July 8th on Guam, so I actually decided that I wanted to do 10 days of gratitude in honor of him. So his actual angelversary is July 17th, and we're actually going to be up here on that day, of course, and then also the following day to honor and celebrate this amazing man, angel husband of mine. But I wanted to come to you today with, my first message about gratitude for Frank. And every day after today, I will be giving you something about him that I'm grateful for. And, feel free to chime in and let me know what you're grateful for in knowing him, and what were some of the things that you learned from him, and some of the great memories that you had of him, right? It's always a good opportunity when days like this come around, or months like this come around, or years like this come around, that we honor our loved ones that have gone before us, because they're never forgotten. And, keeping their memory alive is such a beautiful thing and a beautiful way to honor them. So today I wanted to talk about how grateful I am to Frank for having what I thought at the time was a morbid conversation. We were on our way in the morning. He was actually dropping me to work, and as he was driving in, I was finishing up my makeup, and he said, "Babe, I changed my mind." And I said, "You changed your mind about what?" And he said, "I changed my mind about where I want to be when I die." And I kind of looked at him with this really funny expression, like not sure where that was coming from. And he just kept talking in a very serious tone and very serious look on his face. And he said, "I know I said that I wanted to be buried in California, in San Jose, with the rest of the Garcia family." He said, "But I really feel like my place is wherever you and the kids are. So whether that's in Guam, whether that's in California, either place. But it's you and the kids that I want to make sure that are there to visit me all the time." And not that anyone else wasn't important to Frank, but those of you that know him know how important his kids and I were to him, and still are, I'm sure. I know that Frank watches over all of us all the time, every single moment of our life, and leaves us signs all the time, and he does to a lot of people as well. But having that conversation with him that day, I was really actually upset when I walked out of the car, and I said, "I have no idea where this is coming from. Are you planning on dying on me? Like, what is going on?" But when he died, I found so much comfort in having that conversation with him. So I'm so grateful that he chose to have a moment on that particular day to tell me what he wanted. And I also wanted to let you all know that that message wasn't just for me that day. That message was meant to be shared today and moving forward after Frank died, to let everybody know that it's important to talk about death and dying, your dying wishes, what you want, what the family wants, right? Because I always say this, that funerals are a way for the family to grieve and to honor the loved one that has died. The person that died doesn't care what happens to them after they die. Of course, they're going to tell you what they want before they die, but truly, it's our way of honoring and being able to grieve and remember and love them. One final tribute, right? To have their physical body there with us to say goodbye. But still, it's those important conversations to have, before you go, before anyone goes. We never know when we're going to go. It could be in an instant, like the way Frank died. It could be a long-term illness that you're preparing for. It could be someone that is really old and you already know that they're on their last days. But whatever the reason is that they die, you guys all know that none of us are prepared for that, regardless, right? And when that person dies, especially we love them so much, it's gonna hurt. And so thinking about funeral plans and wills and insurance and how am I going to pay for this and that, caterers and all of that stuff, those are things that you don't necessarily want to think about because your loved one just died, and that's what and who you want to think about, right? So to have these conversations before it's too late, so that way when you're gone, it becomes a beautiful tribute to who you were as a person, and not family stressing over how they're going to afford your funeral, what they're going to do, family fighting over what you would have wanted, what they believe you would have wanted. It just makes sense to talk about it while you're still living and breathing. So I'm grateful for Frank for having that conversation with me, even though it was a short one. It gave me so much peace in my heart to know what I needed to do with him. He always told me that he wanted to be cremated. That was always a big known for a long time. And so, yeah, he had an amazing funeral for those of you that were here. And a lot of that was all me and the family and what we wanted to do to honor and pay tribute to him one last time. And Frank had nothing to do with any of that, but I know he was smiling down at us, and I know that he was happy to see that we were all together, no one was fighting, and that we came together to say goodbye to an amazing man. So this is day 1 of 10 Days of Gratitude to Frank J. Garcia III. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Love you all. Take care.